Hello, welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. Another Wednesday, another whisky review with me, Joe. So, thank you so much to everyone who commented on my last week's video of the Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye. Just an amazing response. Just the comments keep flooding in, and I'm sorry it's taken me kind of a week or so to get back to you. I've just been really busy this week. That was a Canadian whisky. I'm moving on to another Canadian whisky. This is the Glen Breton Ice 10-year-old. Now this is a single malt, not a rye whisky. So it's made from 100% malted barley. And it's made at the Glenora distillery. And this is the only, the Glenora distillery, yeah. As you can see, very small bottle. It's a 250ml bottle. And it's got a huge punt, really big. I can almost fit my fist in there. And the reason it's got that big punt is because this is fully matured in ice wine barrels, 10 years in ice wine barrels. And ice wine or dessert wine, you'll often find in smaller bottles, and a lot of wines will have that big punt. Okay, so it's just like a little kind of a throwback to what wine is bottled in. Well, some wine. Anyway, the reason I was so attracted to this whisky, and thank you very much to Dive Gin on Twitter, who managed to source me a bottle of this to review, which I'm very grateful for, is because Ian Buxton, who is an author, whisky author, he wrote about it in his 101 World Whiskies to Try Before You Die book. Mentioned it in there. It sounded really interesting, so I thought, I'll look out for it. But it's only available in Canada and maybe America, I'm not quite sure. So I had to get a friend, I should say, to bring over a bottle for me, paid for it, and now I can enjoy it. So, ice wine. So ice wine is when the grapes are frozen onto the vine, okay, and because it's so cold, the water freezes, but the sugars and other kind of solids in the grape don't. So when they come to pick it, they pick it when it's frozen, so you get a real concentrated strength of sweetness and sugar in the grape. So when they make the wine with that, it comes out ultra sweet, kind of very honey-esque. I'll recommend ice wine. And this is a single malt, fully matured in ice wine barrels, and it specifically says from the Jost Winery, Nova Scotia. So it's a kind of international winning wine. It's bottled at cask strength at 57.2% in a very small bottle, very limited quantities. Let's give it a nose. Whew. Such a difference to last week. Wow. Okay. Incredibly floral. I get daffodils. I get green pears, very pear-esque. Custard powder. Maple syrup, honey. But that kind of, imagine proper squeezy, runny honey. It's almost like there's a creaminess to it. So imagine one of those kind of, those kind of Muller fruit corner yogurts, where it's a kind of creamy, vanilla yogurt. And you do get a sense of the tannin of those wine barrels, because as I say, it's 10 years in those ice wine barrels, and it's the world's first, as it says in the box, the world's first single malt whisky completely matured in ice wine barrels. There's something that reminds me of green gages as well. I'm not sure if you guys have had green gages. Do you find them in kind of places like France and Austria and Germany? They're the kind of green plums that are very sweet. Yeah, kind of green gages, get them in Amsterdam. Interesting. Right, give it a taste. Wow. It is an explosion of sweetness on the palate. Floral. It reminds me again of those kind of flowers, dandelions, lemon. Imagine, you know, those kind of fizzy lemon sherbet sweets as well. That kind of sweetness. Let's give it another taste. Yeah, massive on the lemon sherbet, lots of honey, vanilla, there's that slight dryness on the finish, and it's got a wonderful acidity, some really, really racy acidity, mouth-watering, really good, really, really good, very different obviously from last week's rye whiskey, totally different kettle of fish. And the warehouses they mature these in are really, really, really cold, so you get a very, very, very slow maturation process. Let's give it one more taste. There's that kind of tropical fruit just edging its way in as well. So there's a little bit of peach skin, a little bit of dried mango as well, just creeping in there at the finish. The finish is medium length, it's fresh, it's zesty. It's really interesting, and this proves actually that there is more to Canadian whiskey than your basic kind of Crown Royal, let's say. The rye is a totally different story that I happen to quite like. This is a totally different kettle of fish. Score-wise, I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Look out for it, and I know that some of you guys watch from Canada. I would love to know what you think and whether you've been able to pick this up and if you are a big fan. I have tried the 17-year-old again. Dive Gin on Twitter sent me a little sample of the 17-year-old as well. So massive thanks to that. And the 17-year-old was really, really good. Again, it's very, very expensive. I think this bottle cost me £50. So for a 250ml bottle of whiskey, £50, that's expensive. But I wouldn't have got to try it any other way. So anyway, 8.5 out of 10 for the Glen Breton Ice 10-year-old. Please let me know what you think, please share the video, and I will see you next week for yet another whiskey review with me, Joe. Cheers guys, bye bye.